Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, so that means Tuesday chat time. Just going to wait for this to refresh itself. Here we go. Oh, I feel a bit short. Maybe move the screen down a bit. There we go. Um, Please let me know if you can hear me today because I have a different microphone, so I can unplug that. So definitely I got a different microphone because I'm hoping it has better sound quality, but I'm just not sure if I've got it set up properly. Hi, Odette. Can you let me know if you can hear me? Yeah, I'm just hoping the sound's good. If not, I'll have to figure out how to use it. So, all right, I'll wait. Oh, no, you can hear me. Awesome. It's good. Wonderful. So again, it's Tuesday chat, Tuesday morning, absolutely beautiful Tuesday morning too. We're we are in winter, I suppose, but I don't like getting out of bed in winter, but I love winter days especially in Queensland. They're usually blue skies and we sit around the 20 degrees and it is just beautiful. So yeah, call me crazy, but I'm really glad it's cold because I'm not dying in my studio anymore. I'm nice and cool. So all right. So for those in my membership, we've already talked about this a little bit on our art chat, but I just wanted to go have a chat just on my Facebook page, just so everyone can watch it about copying other artists' work. It was brought up in on Facebook a little bit last week, so I thought I would just add my 2 cents. So I did make notes, but I kind of lost them. So bear with me if I forget what I'm talking about. But so the whole thing is kind of is it when is it okay to copy other artists' work? When is it not okay? Okay, because I've done a talk before on the book by Austin Kleon, Still Like an Artist, and I'm all about learning from all different artists, of course, and that sort of helps you create your own style. So I do encourage everyone to, I even go myself to workshops if there's one available that I absolutely just love that teacher. Their work inspires me. I'll go along if I get the chance, but I'm not looking to copy their work. I'm looking to pick up tips and ideas, I suppose, of their style, but then incorporate it into my own work. So like I'm of course a realist painter. I think it's a little bit different for people who work in realism because you know I don't have a distinct style that separates my work from the next realist painter. So in regards to me as a teacher, I'm more than happy for my students to copy my work, of course, because that's what I do. I create tutorials and people copy it. So I'm teaching the techniques that I use to create realistic animal art in soft pastels. So I expect everyone to copy my work and have it look pretty close. But I do find everyone's work is different. So even if they copy along with me exactly, pencil color to pencil color, their work will still look different. Not a lot, but it still looks different. I think everyone has their own unique style that comes into their piece, whether they are trying to or not. So good morning, everyone. I can see everyone's getting on. So yeah, so as a realist painter, I feel like as a teacher, I'm teaching people to copy my style and learn my technique. But those in my membership know I'm then encouraging them to, as they're confident in the techniques, then I encourage them to start taking their own reference photos and really making their own artwork unique, because it's not so much the style I teach. I don't class that as unique. Realism is not unique, because that's what we're aiming for, it to look real, like the photo sort of thing. But what is unique about it is your own ideas and concepts and compositions you come up with, your own reference images. You know, we can all go to the zoo and take a photo of a tiger, but it's how the light's hitting it when you take the photo, or how you change it as an artist, the composition, whether you're doing a few tigers together, or whether you're, you know, editing photos and putting them together to create a really unique idea. So that's where I am with my students, especially copying my work. I'm fine with that, of course. And I, you know, but I do encourage them as they get better to start doing their own stuff. Um, and and as a teacher, like, that's my online stuff. When I teach in class, when they're first beginning, again, they'll follow along with me. I'll help them, I'll touch their work. We're doing a tutorial or an image that I've done, so they're completely copying, and I'm sort of, you know, showing them how to do first strokes, all of that stuff. But as they get better, because a lot of my in-person students have been with me for a while, so they're all doing their own compositions, their own images. Usually they've taken the image themselves, and I try not to touch their work at all, so that it is totally their work. And they can then enter it into competitions. They can sell their work, of course. I'm more than happy for any of my students, if they can make a sale, whether it's from my tutorial or not, go for it. Definitely. We, as an artist, to sell our work is sort of the end, not the end goal for everyone, but the end goal for a lot, so that you can buy more art supplies, of course. So whether it's from a tutorial of mine or not, it does not bother me in the slightest. If you can sell a work, go for it. But for entering art competitions, a lot of competitions now are starting to crack down a little bit, I think, on what's being entered. So you've always got to read the fine print, and the rules and regulations. So most nowadays, even our local art society, they used to be pretty flexible with work could be entered that had been done in a workshop environment. But now the rules, they've changed it, and now is that it has to be the sole work of the artist entering, and they're not they can't be from a workshop. They can't have been aided by a teacher, sort of, or touched by a teacher, more or less, is how they put it. And it has to be your own unique creation. It can't be from a tutorial, say. So art competitions are pretty much ruled out for complete beginners, I suppose, that are needing to use tutorials. But as you get better and better, you're probably not going to want to enter your work in a competition when you're first learning anyway. But you can, of course, always go and hire a gallery wall and put work up in there, and you can put, it's your wall, you can put whatever you want up there. Okay. I do feel it is probably important, if you have totally copied a tutorial, maybe credit the teacher. And this is where when I first started talking, but I've gone off on a tangent. When I first started talking, I was talking about a post that was shared on Facebook. I will share that post, so you know what I'm talking about. Hold on. Again, you just have to bear with me with this because it takes me forever. I'm going to try and find it. There it is. Share screen. Share screen, share screen. Okay, so this was it was a post by Claire Bremner, I think her name is. And as you can see, she has this is hers, the one that says mine. She has a very distinct style. So I'm not really sure, because there was a few other artists mentioned their work had been copied as well. One other, D. Gillett in particular, hers wasn't from a student. Hers was totally from just someone had taken copies of her work and was printing it probably and reselling it as their own work, or they may have been repainting it, but they weren't crediting her in any way. And her work, you could tell it was exactly the same artwork and her ideas. So you can see like Claire here has a very distinct style. Now I'm not sure if she teaches workshops, so this could be a student that's done it in a workshop. I'm not sure, but and I suppose in a lot of artists' minds that do have these distinct styles like this, they're teaching you in a workshop so you can learn their techniques and take inspiration and take some bits and pieces from it. But then they are not expecting you to sell that piece without crediting them. So I'm not sure if this, whoever did the copy, whether it was in the workshop, because it's exactly the same picture. So whether she taught that in a workshop, I'm not sure. And then whether the student was selling her piece without any credit. Because as you can see, being very distinct like this, like I said, as a realist artist, my work isn't that distinct, so it really doesn't bother me if someone is painting exactly the same picture, because it's going to look the same anyway. So but it could have been that, or it could even be someone has just totally copied her artwork. She may not be a student, she might just have totally copied it and is selling it as her own, and her own style and all the rest, which that's just not on, especially if these artists have worked for years creating this style and then to copy it. Like I said to my students, if I had a really distinct style, I probably wouldn't be teaching it. I'd be keeping that to myself. But a lot of people just downright copy, and yeah, that's not on at all. So this is where the whole conversation sort of started. So yeah, if you want to add anything, definitely pop it in the chat as well. I don't have Dee's stuff to share with you, but yeah, so yeah, this is where I was sort of thinking, with my students especially, because they are copying my work and I'm encouraging them to sell their pieces if they can. I always use copyright-free photos in my tutorials, or their photos I've taken. So they're totally copyright-free. I encourage them to sell them, and I don't mind not being credited. But like I said, if I had a really distinct style that I mastered, then I probably wouldn't be teaching it in the first place. But then, yeah, if someone starts copying it exactly like that person could have learned the techniques in a workshop, but then take your own photo and create your own ideas and use the same style with the dot or the blobs or however that is done. Don't use exactly the same photo or exactly the same reference or copy the artist's exact same work. So you could use their style or take bits of it, but do it with your own reference image, and then that would be okay. So I think it's happening a lot more, and I think more is people just totally copying their work or making prints of the work and sending it. You've got to be really on the ball, I think, as you grow as an artist and as your work is becoming more and more distinct. Then yeah, you need to check and try and find out if anyone is copying your work and selling it off as prints, and that you know, it's just another part of being an artist, I suppose, another job to do. Um, so I did want to share how you can check if people are copying your work. So maybe not all of us are at a stage that you need to at the moment, but I thought we could, I could show you an easy way to check. So let me share my screen again. Share. Okay, so all you gotta do is type in, I just type in Google image search and it comes up with the website, but it's actually images.google.com. You'll be able to tell because instead of the normal Google, it's just Google Images. Okay, and then this middle button here, search by image. So it's a reverse image search essentially. And we're going to upload a file. And then I've got a few here. So I thought I'd do a couple. So let's do the horse. Now this horse was a Pixabay image I used. Okay, so I'm expecting it to come up because it's a copyright free image anyone in the world can use. Okay, so what you do, you just start going through and looking to see if anything is coming up. You can see that one's very similar right there. The artist has changed it a bit. I did this the other day. That one, no, not exactly. I did see one come up the other day that was exactly the same, but as you can see, not a lot. Considering that is the free reference image, I thought there'd be a lot more come up, but because I didn't alter it really in any way. So some artists might flip the image, some might do a different background, you know, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so you can keep scrolling and scrolling and keep searching. Let's go back and let's do another one. Now this tigers are pretty common, but this photo was one my brother took. Okay, so you can see it comes up as an exact match for my Kerry Dixon art. But I mean, there could very well be people that have taken a photo of a tiger in exactly the same position, but my brother took the photo, so it's not one that is readily available on the internet. So I wouldn't expect to see anything the same unless someone has you know, taken it and is selling it, like has downloaded the image off of my website and is selling it as prints or something. But yeah, like I said, you can yes. Okay, I can't really find any more. I thought you could keep looking, but let's do another one. I should have got hold on, let me just let me find Natalie Parker. I know Natalie Jane Parker, her images get copied all the time because as you can see, they're very unique and they're absolutely beautiful. So let's save that image. Save. And then let's go back into our Google Images. All right, so the exact match is up the top there, but you could, I know she gets copied a lot. So, you know, they might not be exactly the same, but she would need to, of course, lorikeets are pretty common. I know she would need someone probably being on the ball all the time with her work. So, yeah, but it's fun, isn't it? Let's do one more of mine. Let's go with, okay. Um, let's go the koala. This is a photo I took as well. Okay, so this one here. So this is a copy, but this could be a student. Let me start. It's not coming up. With yes, Christy Lynn is obviously a student because that's a chimp there as well. See, I love that my students are trying to sell their work, which is amazing. And like I said, I encourage them. So that is totally cool with me. It would be if I came across it and it was someone, you know, actually just printing them out and selling copies of my actual work here. So, but you see what I mean? It's a cool thing. Let me stop sharing now. And I need to try and get back and see any comments. There we go. Okay, so yeah, it's a cool little tool. So it's Google image search or images.google.com. But if you type in Google image search, and yeah, if you are creating really unique pieces of art and you want to make sure no one is copying your work, then definitely I would recommend doing image searches on a regular basis or have someone else helping you out with that, just to keep on the ball. Because yeah, especially like I said with Natalie Jane, and that if you've got work that a lot of her work is put on merchandise by herself. A lot of tourist shops have Natalie's work in them. So she doesn't want someone else just undercutting her and making lots of prints and merchandise with her work that she's not getting any credit for or any commission from. Okay, so it is important in that way, with your copyright and that, to keep on top of it. But yeah, so let me just check my notes. Like I said, I didn't lose my notes, but they're not where I usually have them. So definitely add in the comments if you definitely add in the comments if you've had anyone stealing your work, because we'd love to hear about that. But put in your 2 cents worth if you think it's okay to copy another artist's work. I don't think anyone's going to say yes to that. But yeah, I get it. When you're learning, we do copy others and we take bits from each other, but yeah, just try and make it unique once. And that's just the natural progression of an artist. When you're learning, you're taking ideas and you're copying others to learn the technique. And especially, like I said, with my students, they're learning how to use pastels. I'm teaching the techniques of that medium. Not as a realist artist, I'm not really teaching them the technique of my style as such. I'm just teaching them how to create realistic animals with soft pastels. When we do some exploring, I've been doing some watercolor and charcoal, which I've been sharing with my students as well, because it's just fun. But if I was really starting to want to try and develop a style of my own, which I do. I really love that abstract brought into the realism. I love that style. So to me, I'm hopeless at abstract. So I would find an abstract teacher that I really like their style of abstract that I think would work well with my realistic animal art. And I'd probably go and do a lesson with them and then try and incorporate how the abstract works into my work to make it really unique. And doing that, I probably wouldn't be teaching that, as because that then is a style I've come up with totally myself that I would want to stay unique, I suppose, to me. So yeah, so I'm more about, I suppose, teaching how to use pastels and how to draw realistic animals. But yeah, it's a little bit different, I think. But anyway, so the main thing, I suppose, is never just copy another artist's distinct style and exactly the same picture and try and sell it off as your own. If you did it in a workshop, then I would still if it was my student, some teachers don't want you to sell it. I would still be happy if you sold it, but I would want you to sort of maybe credit that you were taught it in my workshop. But yeah, some people, some teachers in flat out saying no. If they've taught you it in a workshop, you're not allowed to sell it. It's for your own use. Okay. So just be aware of that when you are doing workshops. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to check out that I've covered everything. I think I have. Yes, okay. So the only other thing I was going to mention that in that I do encourage my students to sell their work because it is getting a little bit limited of where you can sell your work when you're first starting out, I suppose. But I always want my students to build their confidence. I think confidence is really important as an artist because it's so hard to put your work out there because you've spent hours creating it. Everyone's intimidated to get bad feedback, I suppose. So confidence is really important. So that's something I encourage and try and build all the time in the membership. So we do a student exhibition every year, and it gives my students a chance they can put, like, we can have, if I've taught that koala, we could have 3 different koalas from the same tutorial in there. And all the works for sale it's not a competition, it's an exhibition. So the works for sale, they can put whatever they want in there, and it's just a way to boost confidence. So if you do have, even if you've been doing all your work through tutorials and workshops, if you do get a chance to somehow display your work, then I would encourage it because it is important to help with that confidence building. So, all right, guys, it's only been half an hour, which is pretty short and sweet for me, although that's usually what I try and aim at. But yeah, if you're watching the replay or anything, put in there if you've experienced anything or you want to add a bit to my conversation. Yeah, definitely feel free to do that. And yeah, keep creating. And like I said, just keep as you're getting better, start to think of your own compositions and your own images. And it is important. We use Pixabay a lot in my membership, and it's totally copyright free, brilliant resource. But again, if you are entering competitions, you can use a copyright-free photo not a lot of times, some of the times. Again, you've got to read the rules. Some say it has to be your own reference images, but you just always run the risk of someone else putting exactly the same painting in, or essentially similar, because they've used the same reference image, which that can probably get embarrassing. So I always do encourage, if you are going to enter competitions or anything like that, try and make sure you're using something from your own. All right, Jackie, thank you for that. I'm glad you found some of those tips useful. And yeah, that reverse image thing is pretty cool on Google. Even if you're a photographer, actually, it would also come in handy as well. So, all right. Okay, that's it, guys. If you had been thinking of joining the Creative Barn membership, the Essentials tier, which is open all year round, but I do have a 7-day free trial running at the moment, and that actually is finishing at the end of this week. So if you were thinking of joining, definitely, or you want to just check out some of my tutorials, go and have a look in there. because you get 7 days for free. So you can cancel before the 7 days is up and it hasn't cost you a cent. Okay, so all right, Odette, I would love to enter some of my work into your students' display. Yes, definitely, Odette. Yeah, now that you're up this way, oh, sort of. Definitely, it's going to be in September in Maryborough, so I'll make sure I let everyone in the membership know when they need to get stuff to me. Okay, so I probably need to do that soon. September's going to be on us before we know it. The other thing, which I haven't announced yet, but I've got my next challenge week is coming up, or coaching week, whatever I like to call it, in July. Okay, so I think I'm just going to call it Pastel Week this time. I always have a different name every time, and we always do different subjects. So I haven't figured out what exactly I'm teaching, but it will be from the 14th to the 21st of July. And it's going to be a week of fun, of just learning pastels. So I'll get all the information out as soon as I figure it out, hopefully by the end of this week as well. All right. Thank you for joining me as usual. And I will see everyone next week. And yeah, I hope this has got you thinking. All right. Thanks, guys. See you later.